was over at my parents' house the other day. I was helping my mom set up her Googles and smart TVs and things because she got new Wi-Fi and she didn't know how to update it. And I don't mind helping. She's my mom. She'll be 69 this year. And she's still significantly younger than the people that are in Congress making decisions about AI data centers, and she doesn't know how to update her Google. So that's a terrifying thought. But anyways, I had to go to her pictures to see her old Google password or whatever to update the new Wi-Fi. And the screenshots, it was just one Facebook misinformation meme after another Facebook misinformation meme. And it wasn't like I was trying to even find things to upset me. It's just there. And I even got my hopes up for a second because she had screenshotted like an entire article from our local paper about SNAP benefits being cut, only to the very next one being, if you're upset about your SNAP being cut, you can blame Democrats for wanting to give health care to illegal aliens. And I just started to cry. And like, you have to understand, these people raised me. They would give anyone anything. I've seen it. The generosity to the poor and the dissonance that's required to align yourself with this administration. There is no other word but cult.
Absolutely. And I'm glad she, got there, because I was waiting on her to get there, because we actually just watched the video about MAGA being a cult. And I don't like to, make any bold claims or make, systems. But in reality, that's literally what it sounds like. Because when you watch people who are indulged in a lot of these policies, indulged in a lot of these systems, people who literally worship and put, President Trump and put the entire administration and the whole MAGA movement, they put them on a pedestal. They put them like, guys, Trump is literally creating a whole statue within Washington, D.C. He's already planning it out. He's got the blueprint, the footprint that he's trying to do right now. And, before we finish the rest of this video, I always sit back and think. Like, what do they think about the Argentina money that they're giving out? $40 billion. What do they think about that? What do they think about the Epstein files, no longer being released, or, all of a sudden just disappear? You notice that the administration doesn't even talk about it anymore. What do they think about all the things that are going on right now in the country? It's like they overlook these policies. It's like they overlook these things and are so gung-ho. They indulge themselves within Fox Media, Fox News, and all the news. It's crazy, y'all. It is ridiculous. But like I said, I will never be able to understand this whole movement. I will never be able to connect myself and see how anybody can continue to support this entire administration. And I'm not going to say it's all bad, but majority of the systems and policies that are in place right now as we speak are pretty bad.
There really isn't. There's no statistic I can send them, no article I can send them. There's nothing I can tell them. They have an answer. And it's so funny to me. I held it back and I was like, you know what? Every fight I've ever had with them has ended poorly. I'm never gonna change their mind on anything. They have decades and decades of white Christian nationalists feeding them theology and decades of Fox News feeding them propaganda. They're goners. But they're my parents. And it's hard.
Yeah.
But I just kept going about updating her stuff, and then I was working on her printer and I had to pull it up, and there's more information memes. I was trying to find a picture to print, and it was breakdown of Trump's spending and Obama's spending, and it's like all of these inflated, taken out of context budget spending for a man that's been out of office for almost a decade, as if that somehow justifies building a ballroom, not giving people their SNAP benefits. And then there's one, it's like a misinformation meme. It would take 10 seconds to Google these things. That's the craziest part of Hillary Clinton quoting about Trump would be a great president in 1994. One, she never said that. And two, you don't even like her. So what?
Now imagine being in this family, right? And I'm not trying to say any bad things about, the family, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. I know families who are, kind of like this in a situation right now, right? But and a lot of people don't do their research. A lot of people rely heavily on social media, rely heavily on news platforms or whatever, or maybe a friend that they have, and the list goes on and on. But imagine being a part of this family. Imagine being the only person that is not MAGA. I'm not saying that she's a Democrat or whatever, but at the same time, she's not MAGA. So whatever, point of view she is, she hasn't sipped the Kool-Aid yet, if that makes sense. But yes, imagine how it may be that you're just so like deep dived in this entire policies and administration that you are not able to formulate your own opinion. You're not able to, formulate your own ideas about what things need to be happening within the country. And I'm gonna say this also as well. And I say this all the time. Y'all know what I always say, guys. It's always until, certain policies begin to affect the people that they don't really care, especially MAGA right now. Like, do y'all see countless of videos that I bring you guys, specifically stories, FAFO stories, where people, as a matter of fact, I posted two just today, guys, like people where they are literally supporting and celebrating tariffs, or people who are literally supporting and celebrating immigration policies, or people who are, supporting and celebrating, like, whatever. The list goes on and on. And then once they find out that, they lost their job because of, these tariffs, they lost their, their food stamps and their health care because of these cuts. The farmers are getting destroyed because of these trade deals. Do y'all really realize that all of these situations, especially these people who drink the Kool-Aid on Fox News and, endorse themselves within, the cult, as she said, right? I'm not making a bold claim. I'm letting the people speak for itself. And as a matter of fact, I didn't even give credit to the creator. Her name is Nicole Caitlin One. I'm gonna link her socials in the description below if you guys want to check it out when I post this segment. But guys, it is what it is. And even as we see farmer bailouts, we see people in other countries become bailouts, right? You know what? It blows my mind, but it's still devastating regardless, as we see people trying to cover up their tracks. They just made a trade deal with South Korea to get more investments into the country of the United States. But that's also covering the tracks because of the whole plant that just got shut down within Georgia, which was already a huge investment that they already, committed to. So now they're pausing that investment. It's crazy. But like I said, as a whole, to see her entire family be within this movement, and she is the one that is absorbing it and just seeing how stuck and how like, oh man. But let's watch a little bit more and we'll end it off after this.
Own the libs while everyone suffers. And there was one that said, "Thank you, President Trump, for fighting like a dog for no money for the American people." What planet are you on? What planet? And then I just started sobbing. And she's like, "What's wrong? What's wrong? Did you see something on my phone?" Girl, quit playing with me. I'm just like, I gotta go home. Like, I gotta go home. Like, for my peace, like, I knew if I stayed, I was gonna fight, and it would be counterproductive. The only positive of the entire situation is that I made a 2025 bingo card, which so much fuckery is on it that I did not anticipate. But, and one of my little squares was choose peace over being right. That night, I was actually able to go home and check it off because I just went home.
Yep, and that's the biggest thing that you got to do. And I'm going to end the video right here, guys. Like, that's the biggest thing you got to do, especially if you got family like this, especially if you have, a disagreement within views, or you'll never be able to connect with their family. I know people who literally can't even connect with their family, who can't even have a conversation because they have such strong views, or they always bringing up, policies and make it all about politics and all these different things where, it completely separates the whole family. So it sucks, but this is just what's going on right now. And this is what happens in so many different scenarios and cases. But, let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Hit the like button as well. All right. But this is crazy, y'all.